Second roll of the grid, which he does. They come up to the line. We race. No problem, though, for Iskander Zulfikari. Goes wide, though. And Ilya Badeshkin tries to follow through. There's carnage at turn one. Baglan's out of it. He's missed the start. You saw the kart was slow to leave the grid. It did fire, but then it stalled again. The brilliant Brit has got no luck. He's missed the start of the final. Watch for Dean to come charging on through. An incident with Lorenzo Diamico, Mats van Rooyen, Oscar Poberaj and Matteo Mellis further back in the field. They've all managed to rejoin, but a long way down, with the exception of the Slovenian Oscar Poberaj. There they are in the background. Oscar is out. Zulfikari from the second row of the grid had to hold back. Let's hope he did do the right thing. It was difficult to judge from our vantage position. Regardless, he goes P1. That's a good start by the CRG. Up into position 3. Oxteen just leads Shen, who's qualified on fastest in his group. Qualified fastest with a 53.714. On Friday, there is the Chinese driver in position 4 behind the driver. In the CRG, the 555 of the Floridian. But it's Zulfikari looking to go 3 in a row. The Turk under pressure from Ilya Badeshkin for Team Gamoto. But he's pushed out wide. Asher sends it on through, and Badeshkin goes back to 4th place. The American on the back of the Turk with so much pressure on him. It's early stages. This is lap 2 of 10. They go down the back straight, but the American needs business. But he's passed. A move down the inside by Shen. There's Badeshkin back in P4. Ilya Christian, the Canadian, on the outside, is about to run out of road. He kicks up the dust, but he just keeps on trucking, does the Canadian. He's ahead of Pietro Baguti, Lopez, Grich, Kalalsian, Vladimir Ivanikov, and Bogdan Cosmo Christopher. William Kalija, the driver from Melbourne, Australia, is back in position 14 ahead of Devon Waltz, who joins us after racing in the Scusa Winter Series 7 days ago at Miami in Florida on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. He's behind Bogdan Cosmo Christopher, who's just done a purple sector. Noah Baglan has rejoined. In fact, that was him in the background. He's way down in 33rd position. He's just hit the fastest lap of the race at 54.262, but he will not win here this afternoon. I'll tell you what, Sheiyu Zhen might. The Chinese driver just goes on through and goes P1. The American in the CRG falls back into position 14. The Dutchman. Don't discount Hugendorn, who's in P5 for the Kiddix Driver Academy. Zulfikari retakes the top spot. Badeshkin for Team Gamoto. He was pushed almost off the road 1 lap ago, but there he is. The Russian for the Sicilian team in P2. Iskander. What a story this would be if he can go 3 weeks in a row. At the moment, he's in position 1. It's a 6-kart fight for the lead. As Shen down the inside retakes P2. Watch Asher Oxteen. The American with the South Korean heritage driving the 555 CRG is behind the Paralin Opportunity. In fact, the Opportunities, plural. They run 1 and 2 for 2 different teams. Shen for AV Racing. And of course, Iskander Zulfikari for Team Baby Race. Hugendorn up into P4. Hugendorn up into P3. Slams it down the inside. And he puts the American Oxteen back off the podium. Super pass from the determined Dutchman, Dean Hugendorn. Now up onto the podium. Watch him fight. Does not want to finish P2 again. Second in the WSK Mini Super Cup at La Conquer in 2022 to Jacopo Martinez. Has qualified fastest, has finished on the podium, but desperately wants to stand up on the top step here this afternoon. He may well do it. He's on the back of Zhen as they go down the back straight. The Chinese driver will punch a hole in the air. Iskander Zulfikari will do it for both of them as he dives down the inside. Dean the Dutchman on the charge. Hugendorn through to position 2. Oxteen runs out of road in the CRG half race distance. The 60 mini final here at Franciacorta. Badeshkin back to 6th. Look at Arias Bosco. Vamos, Arias. He's now in the fight for the lead as well. Arias Bosco in 5.05 for Team Driver. Oxteen pushed out wide. That may well cost the American dramatically. Iskander Zulfikari, this is ominous. He's starting to build up a little bit of a gap. He will punch a hole in the air for, I was going to say, Dean Hugendorn. It's not the case though. Dean's back to 2, to 3, to 4, to 5. And now he goes wheel to wheel with Asher Oxteen, but the American gets the momentum. Arias Bosco for team driver. And Badeshkin, also for team driver, I should say. They start lap 7. Arias in second place. Well, can the Spaniard take the fight to Iskander once again? Asher on the outside. And Dean back into P5. He will be immensely frustrated. That graphic at the bottom of your screen has already been made redundant with the repass of Hugendorn into P5. So let's see if Arias can catch up to the back of Iskander, who is racing with mixed feelings here this afternoon after the devastating earthquake in his home country of Turkey, just hours after he won round 1 of the WSK Supermaster Series at Lonato 2 weeks ago. Shan back up into position 3. Retakes the place from Badeshkin. Oxteen down the inside. Dean Hugendorn will be absolutely metaphorically tearing his hair out. He's in P6. He was trying to attack Iskander for the lead, but now he's not even on the podium. Lap 8 of 10. Zulfikari, Bosco, and Sheyushen. The gap is 0.404 of a second. Dean tries again. Goes by the American Asher Oxteen in the 555 CRG. Incidentally, no problem for Zulfikari off the start. Noah Baglin missed it. He is still circulating, but down in 29th position. The 6 on your screen, it's starting to be a battle of 2. Arias Bosco is running out of time. We'll check the gap next time round. He will gain something here. Down the back straight, Arias Bosco, the Iami-powered Kart Republic. And Iskander Zulfikari, the Iami-powered Paralin 14 baby race in first place. Under the bridge here at Franciacorta. The gap 0.4 of a second, 0.2. Bosco's catching him. Arias up into P2, takes 0.2 of a second. He's right behind the Turk. The battle for third is Badeshkin, Shen, Hugendorn, Oxteen, and also the Canadian Eiley Christian. Oxteen on the inside. Pietro Boguti in P8 ahead of Ivan Inkov and Bruno Grich. Then it's BCC and Billy C. Cosmo Christopher and Collegia, 11 and 12. Now Zulfikari has to defend and needs to hold on for his life, but Arias wants to take the lead here. Here's an opportunity down into La Foresteria, into the hotel hairpin. Zulfikari goes defensive, no problem for Bosco. Tries their high line, but runs out of road. Out of the hotel hairpin. This is the last lap of the race. What a fairy tale finish it would be for Zulfikari, but he leaves the door open. Contact between Bosco and Zulfikari. Sends it up the inside, but runs into the back of the baby race Paralin. Now he goes defensive. Arias around the outside. Zulfikari closes the door. This is one of the fastest tracks in the world. It's one of the widest as well. They touch. He's still defending. Zulfikari's out. He won't win 3 in a row. Bosco goes through. Zulfikari heartbreakingly into the wall. He's out. Eiley Christian has also had a moment. Arias Bosco on his way to victory. Down into La Foresteria, into the hotel hairpin for the final time. They scatter, they fight for the final step of the podium. Out front, the checkered flag waves. Vamos! Arias Bosco, the Spaniard, wins here at Franciacorta. Dean the Dutchman on the podium in P2, and Sheyushen takes the final step in third place. Badeshkin, lucky to hold on to it. He was in the grass in the final corner, comes across the line in P7, just ahead of the Romanian Bogdan Cosmo Christopher. Bosco wins. Heartbreak for Zulfikari. Iskander Zulfikari into the wall and out from the highest of highs with a victory at Lonato to the lowest of lows after what happened in his home country of Turkey a day after that victory. And now he ends the race here in Franciacorta in the wall. Zulfikari does not finish. Contact, they went wheel to wheel. Racing incident, Arias Bosco has taken the victory by 1.7 seconds over Dean Hugendorn. Yu Shan for AV Racing in position 3. Ivanikov, Baguti P5. Ahead of Bruno Gric, Bereshkin, Cosmo Christopher, Kalija, and Waltz, the American, in position 10. Well, absolute heartbreak for Iskander Zulfikari. It's hard to stay on the top of Mount Everest forever. He's ended the race in the wall. He will be back for round 3 of the Supermaster Series at Sarno, but it's a disappointing weekend for the Turk. Congratulations, though, to Arias Bosco. The Spaniard wins from Dean the Dutchman and Shen in 3rd place. Stay with us on WSK.it, the podium presentation for 60 Mini in just a moment.